Fire away.
All right, Jack. So we're interested in you and in the African soldiers who were under your command.
Yes.
So let me ask you, what was your first impression of them? You were sent out to Nigeria. You know, you didn't know Nigeria, and then you were put in charge of these chaps. What did you make of them?
Well, I met my platoon, and I had the last platoon of the last company of the last battalion of the last brigade of the 81st Division. And nobody told me at the time that the Sultan of Kano had been ordered to send some more soldiers. So he emptied his jail, and I got them. I wasn't told that till we were in India. And so I'd got soldiers with slashed cheeks and filed teeth, and some of them pretty savage looking. Others, though, were Yorubas, Christians or pagans. Some were Igbos from the southeast, very handsome people with a coppery hue to their complexions. My orderly was a munshi, well, you should call them Tiv to be polite. And there was one or two from semi-desert areas of French territory in West Africa, very stately and dignified chaps they were. So there was a mixed bunch. They got on very well together. No sort of communal hostility among them. And they accepted British rule. We were all known by nicknames to them. I was Grandad, I'm told, unofficially. The company commander was Quado, a frog, because he's got protruding eyes. And so it went on. Well, I'd got to get to, of course I couldn't speak a word to them because the common language was Hausa. So I had to set to and learn Hausa, as did my white sergeant.
And the men, Jack, did they make good soldiers, do you think?
In time, we were flown into Burma, landed at a jungle airstrip, well, a level stretch of paddy fields, and then had to march off to White City, which was a very big fortified area, by earthworks. And while there, a Japanese force appeared from nowhere. We didn't know they were there. And first of all, they started pounding the hill just to my left. And I could see this hill smothered with explosions. I thought, well, nobody's going to survive that lot. And then they moved to the hill that I was on. And up came a tank. It broke down and not very far away. And blow me, a Japanese got out of it and started to repair it. And we were so amazed we forgot to shoot him. And then that failed. But later on they did break through and got into the compound. And it was a charge of African troops that drove them out. So they did learn, and they did learn quickly. And as I say, they scared the enemy. For a time, because one of my chaps was captured. And the Japs gave him a bicycle. They said, you pedal back to your camp and tell the others of your company, come back here and we'll give them all a bicycle. Fortunately, we saw that none of them went back out to accept that offer. But that was, once the Japs got used to them, that was a trick that they tried.
Do you think that in the British Army, the African soldiers were treated fairly?
I think they were treated very well, from what I saw. As I say, I got this rough lot. The problem of a fair amount of mental problems emerged among them. On the way to India, we had to throw a lot overboard. They were dying almost like flies. And we found what was they were saying was they'd been subjected to witchcraft. Somebody in my village is after my wife, and he's put a spell on me, and I'd curl up and die. So we put into Durban and took them all off and put them in a transit camp for several days and medicated them. What medication against witchcraft there is, I just don't know. But at any rate, they were medicated. They were all right after then.